What is going on today, guys? It's your boy Andrew Ouden, and today we are back for a brand new banger. Alright, before we get started with the topic of today's video, guys, I would love if you guys would follow me on social media. Here's my Instagram right here, at Andrew Ouden, and then here's my Twitter right here as well, too. Alright, guys, be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, guys. Join the gang, join the family, and without further ado, guys, let's get into the topic of today's video. As you guys know, I've been doing a lot of videos lately where I've been, being a little bit more vulnerable and a little bit more open, to get a different point across and to let you guys be able to see more sides of me as a person. Because I feel like a lot of times on YouTube, you don't get to see a certain side of someone. And I want you guys to be able to feel me when I'm feeling happy and when I'm feeling sad and when I'm feeling angry. I want that to kind of go across in my videos so that way you guys can know who I am truly as a person. So the topic of today's video, I hope that this topic someone out there in the world can relate to. Besides me, it would be really nice if I could find someone that has this same struggle or has had this struggle. But the topic of today's video, nevertheless, is on adoption. So, not many people know that I'm actually adopted. So I have been adopted since birth, basically. When I came out the womb, basically, I went straight to my mother, my adoptive mother, who's my mother. She raised me my whole life. I was born on April 29th. I came home May 2nd. So it's always a very interesting time of year for me. When April and May come around, it's always a very interesting and revitalizing time of year for me. It gives me time to reflect on my life and on things, and it's really interesting. But nonetheless, I am adopted. So I want to talk more about how I found out I was adopted. Okay. So the first, when I was younger as a child, maybe about 8 or 9, I started to notice that I didn't really look all that much like my family. They were all kind of shorter and they had lighter skin than me. They were more of a brown skin. I'm a dark skin, obviously. And I noticed that. And I asked my mom about my father and stuff. And, she told me a thing or two. But she never really dove into it. She skirted around the object about it. And I know she did that for my safety and for my emotional well-being. Because finding out that you're adopted can be a really hard thing, and some kids don't take that very well. So I understand why she did that. She made up a story. So around the time, I want to say I was either 13 or 14, I was going into my freshman year of high school. And one of my close aunts, she had came down with cancer. So my first day of freshman year was spent at the hospital, well, after school, spent at the hospital, going to see her. And then for a majority of my first semester of my freshman year of high school, me and my mother were, running backwards and forwards to the hospitals and the hospice healthcare centers, day after day, every day after school. That's what I would do. So it did take a lot out of me with that already, because that had happened. And then one day in December, right before Christmas, my aunt passed away. So, I always try to be optimistic and, see, hey, maybe she'll pull through. She was very, very sick and she didn't pull through. And, I went to school and then I came home and my mom told me, she passed away. And of course, I was sad and, of course, I was sad. On top of that, this leads me back into the adoption story. This is the first time that my mother told me that I was adopted and I was not her biological son. So take all of that into consideration, and you kind of just, it was not good. It was not good. learning all of that news at once. And it's like, honestly, it took me a long time to digest it all. I mean, it took me, like, once I finally digested it internally, I mean, it took me probably close to, like, maybe a year to, like, internally digest it. And, like, that's the thing about being adopted. And, like, you because I had a therapist that I used to go talk to about this. When you're adopted, you feel like you were abandoned, right? You literally feel like you were abandoned because it's like, well, you were just given away, basically. That's how you feel in your head sometimes. So that oftentimes leads adoptive children to have a lot of internal trauma built up inside of them that, you know, they sometimes don't know how to release, because they always feel as this though everyone that comes into their lives is going to leave them. So it can strain a lot of relationships with friends, families, co-workers, because they always feel like someone is going to leave them, because they felt abandoned since birth. Literally, that is one of the things that I believe is so important, you know, for the mother to bond with the baby, because, you know, you don't want your child to feel neglected. And, you know, that's how a lot of adopted children feel. They don't feel like everyone is going to stay around for them. They always feel as though they're going to be abandoned. And if they don't get the proper help for that, which thank God I did when I found out, because I started to take a turn, you know, they can live life feeling very like, you know, they have no friends, no one's going to be there for them, that kind of thing. And this is based off of what my therapist told me, because my therapist was actually adopted too. So that was even better, because it's like it's coming from a person that understands what it's like to actually be adopted and understands what it's like to feel the way you feel. I made this video because I hope that someone out there that is adopted or has a similar story to mine is able to, you know, have someone that understands where they're coming from and is able to grow from it. Because, not gonna lie, being adopted is pretty cool. Not many people are adopted. I mean, there's like 7 billion people in the world. Not that many people are adopted. There are a lot, don't get me wrong, from different countries and all the other places. But it's a really cool thing, because it's like your mother and your father picked you and gave you a better life than what you could have had you not been adopted or had you stayed in the system. You know? It's a really beautiful thing to think about, and I am honestly so grateful and so thankful for my mother and my grandmother and all of my family, you know, adopting me. And I mean, yes, I was an only child, so it still did get lonely at times, but I'm so thankful forever. Forever I'm thankful, because not many kids have a chance to get out like that. And I could have easily been a child that was either in the system, or God knows where my life could have went had I not been adopted. So I just want to come on here and say that I felt like this was a pretty engaging video to talk about, and it's something that I've wanted to talk about for a really long time, but I didn't know when the right time was to talk about something like this. And I mean, I know it doesn't fit into what the category of this channel is, but this is the self-improvement that I want to get on this channel, because I feel like, you know, yeah, it's men's style, men's vlogs, all of that stuff, but you have to, if you're trying to become the person that you want to become, you have to literally look at yourself, analyze yourself, and think to yourself, what things do I need to improve on to become a better man, a better son, a better friend, a better husband? Whatever you have it, what do you have to look at yourself, and honestly, you have to tear yourself apart. I feel like that's the only way you'll be able to get the result that you want. You have to tear yourself apart and nitpick things about yourself that you don't like, and then you take those things and you improve on them, and that's how you become a better person. I've been reading this book called The Simple Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and honestly, guys, I recommend this book to you guys if you're trying to just take each day one step at a time, because it's a great book. And to all of the adoptive children, you know, whether you're young or old, you have a friend in me, and I understand the struggle because I've gone through it, and I understand that internal struggle, and I just want you guys to know that I'm here for you. And if you guys ever need someone to talk to or someone to vent to on YouTube or in the comments, you guys can DM me on Instagram or my Twitter. I will respond back, especially to those type of comments, because I want to have an engaging conversation about adoption. I definitely do, because it's something that is not talked about a lot, and I just want someone to understand that, you know, you are seen, you are heard. I understand you. I know it's been a very interesting, heavy video today, guys, but I did just want to make this video to let some people know what's up, and give some more insight about me. So, without further ado, guys, that is the end of today's video. As always, guys, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, guys. Join the gang, join the family. And as always, guys, follow me on social medias once again. Here's my Instagram right here, and here is my Twitter right here. Alright, guys, without further ado, have a good Monday, and peace.